Hello everybody, welcome to the HoopsCast. I am your host, Jacob, aka Rusty Buckets, joined by our co-hosts. Why did I say our? He's my fucking co-host.
Dingus.
Muhammad, aka Mojo99. Say what's up, Mojo.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Master Mojo has entered the building once again.
Alright, so today we are having, I think I'm going to title this podcast The Great MJ versus LeBron Debate.
Yoinks.
We're going to kind of structure this like a courtroom. I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I've been thinking about the law and shit like that.
I see where this came from now. Okay. You kind of hit this with me out of nowhere, but I like it.
That's a damn good show, I'll tell you what. Anyways, so we're going to do opening statement, kind of a debate in the middle, which is like cross-examination, except there's no one fucking here. And then a closing statement, but I am on the side of MJ, if you know me, and then if you know Mojo, he is on the side of LeBron.
Yes, sir. The right way, the only way.
Sure. So that is why for the rest of this podcast, I'm going to be referring to Mojo by LeBron Sexual. So
hell no! Whoa! Hell no! Hey! This was not a part of the protocol. Hell no! Got me messed up. LeBron fan? No. What I am and like LeBron sexuals are two completely different things. Okay, don't associate me with those people. Okay, please don't. I am not that. I'm not delusional. Relax. I'm not reaching.
Okay. So, I guess we're going to do the opening statement. Mojo wanted me to do mine first because he knows that he's on the losing side of this. So,
okay.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say that.
One more thing. One more thing about this. We're going to do a poll. Can I fucking speak? Poll. I don't even know if I said it right that time.
It don't matter.
We're going to do a poll on one, who won the debate at the end of this video, and then two, who you think the greatest of all time is. So, throw away your bias for the first poll. Just say, who did better at debating. And then two, who you think the GOAT is. MJ. Just, heads up. Opening statement. I'm going first, because again, Mojo knows he's going to lose.
Yeah, right.
So,
ladies
here's
first,
my
go
opening
ahead.
statement. Here's my statement. Michael Jordan is the greatest two-way player to ever live. He was both one of the best perimeter defenders ever, while being the best perimeter player ever. I don't think centers count for best two-way players because of the lack of versatility in their offense. Like, if you're fucking like Kareem, all you do is a sky hook and the occasional dunk. Like, that ain't it. That's not really that versatile on offense. I think in order to be the best offensive player, you really have to be a guard or a wing or some sort of perimeter player. He did that while being a 5-time MVP. Probably should have been 6 or 7 if we're being honest. And he had one Defensive Player of the Year, which proves how great of a defender he is. Came into the league and immediately averaged 28 points per game, winning Rookie of the Year. And that's not a knock on LeBron necessarily, because LeBron came straight out of high school. I'm fully aware of that.
Okay, yep.
Fully aware of that. He won 6 NBA championships, did not lose once. And if we're being honest, he did that. It's his point of emphasis. And if we're being honest, he did that with not the craziest help in the world. Okay. To me, the greatest of all time is someone who has both the mix of individual awards and a team accomplishments. And there is no player that has the high amount of both individual and team accomplishments that Michael Jordan has, besides for Bill Russell, but nobody's talking about that dusty-ass dude.
Yeah.
So, your opening statement, Mojo.
All right. Now you're done?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get a swig of my water real quick. Things about to get real dangerous. Okay, so let me put my shit back real quick. Okay. So when really dissecting these two players and looking real deep into these two players' careers, MJ and Michael Jordan, the MJ and LeBron, they're the consensus. Dude, I hate these Invisalign trays. They're the two consensus best players to ever touch a basketball in.
I think we should all agree on that at this point.
Yeah, we all agree. If you're talking about Larry Bird, Kobe, you're not in this conversation, okay? I'm sorry. But when taking things into perspective and really applying what LeBron has had to go through, what he's had to deal with compared to the blessing MJ has gone throughout his careers.
Oh, yeah. Fuck off.
What you mean? Let me shut up. Let me talk. All right. God damn it. It's not even your turn. You see, already break. That's at least like 5 points deducted right there. God damn it. Anyways, like I was saying, when really applying real context to this thing, and really looking at Mike, and really looking at LeBron's situation, the difference between the two is not much at all. And if anything, people like me would say that LeBron would be better, or is better actually, than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he's a cool dude, whatever. He's a fantastic player. He's done so many great things. He's the most famous basketball player to ever touch a basketball in his life. But a lot of things have played his favor. And if LeBron was placed in something at least close to that situation, and had a GOAT coach, a stable front office, some help. Fucking, people like to say, oh, LeBron needs help. It's the fucking truth, though. You need, basketball's a team game. If he had some help from the jump, or maybe if he would have stayed in college for 3 years, he would have averaged fucking like 32. He would have averaged 30 points too his first year in the NBA. The little things like that, when you take into perspective and try to really, really correspond to two's careers, to me, if MJ didn't have that upper hand, all these upper hands that he's had, LeBron would be viewed as the GOAT to many, but instead he's viewed as the GOAT to a few like me. I'm done. Okay,
so for the debate section, I guess it's easier to just like kind of split this into different categories. So how about we in a court case, you're typically attacking the opposition, trying to disprove, what they're saying. So how about I attack, we'll attack like what we see as the weaknesses in each of the players, mm-hmm. And then we can start the debate from there. So to me, in your opening statement, you said that LeBron has never been lucky enough to play with a GOAT coach and a GOAT general manager. Or something along those lines.
But a stable
one. That's fair.
Yeah, at least.
Well, that's not entirely fair for Miami.
He had to do his own. Okay, let me just.
Did he have? You're allowed to butt in. This is a debate part. Okay. But did he have to do his own, or did he choose to do his own and didn't allow anyone else to have any influence on his career?
He had to do his own. He had to. Did Dan Gilbert, that dumbass Dan Gilbert, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Okay, what are you talking about? I know Dan Gilbert is trash. I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, like, man, he had no choice. If he had a stable front office who could make correct move and bring in. If Cleveland was an attractive place, oh my God. If his mom, okay, this is kind of getting rated R, but I don't give a shit. If his mom didn't get clapped in Cleveland, okay.
Oh my God.
Maybe, yeah, and if he wasn't born in Cleveland, I low-key think the NBA is rigged. But anyways, I'm going off of different tangents. But, he was in Cleveland too, and Cleveland is like nothing compared to Chicago. So that's like another like low-key advantage. But that's not like has nothing to do with this debate. But all I gotta say is that pulling in talent in Cleveland is already hard enough. He's a free agent. You can't do much. And the front office couldn't make any moves either because they were incapable. They were stupid. They were tards, dinguses, mematodes.
Okay, here's the thing. I understand Dan Gilbert was trash, but I'm thinking specifically of Miami. Eric Spoelstra is a very good coach. He's a very good coach.
Okay, is he top 10? Is he top 10?
No. But also, you can say at the same time that Phil Jackson gets a lot of his GOAT status as a coach because of having Michael Jordan. So how much of that credit goes to who is always a hard thing to figure out. how much of Phil Jackson's success is because of MJ and how much of MJ's success is because of Phil Jackson. I think it's honestly a pointless debate because there's no real way to point at it to say what's true and what's not.
It's not. But why did MJ not want to return to the Bulls when that man wasn't going to coach him?
Because he respected him and and enjoyed playing under his system. It doesn't mean that he That doesn't mean that he thought he couldn't succeed without him.
I don't know.
He was succeeding individually without him beforehand until without
individually.
Any
LeBron been doing okay.
Yes, but he didn't have any help, just like LeBron did it in the early years of his career.
There we go. Now we talking.
Up until I understand the first 9 years that he spent in Cleveland, or not 9 years, 7 years. His talents were wasted. I'm fully aware of that. He did not have good help.
7 years.
The only All-Star that he ever had was fucking Mo Williams. I understand that. I understand that's some garbage. But
yeah,
MJ for the first let's see, up until for the first 6 years of his career or first 5 years of his career, also had garbage help. That's just a fact. Scottie Pippen didn't come around until the late 80s. And he was pretty much on his own with a bum-ass team. So the start of their careers individually were pretty damn similar. Now I understand the front office made a great move in Chicago by landing Scottie Pippen via trade. But other than that move, the front offices were really not all that different. And situations were not all that different. Now when I'm talking about LeBron in terms of dealing with his coaches, in Miami, Eric Spoelstra is a damn good coach. But LeBron James is such a dominating personality, and he is so in control of everything around him that he didn't allow Eric Spoelstra to be as good of a coach as he was. Eric Spoelstra wasn't getting praised as a coach. As a matter of fact, being with LeBron in those years in 2010 to 2014 in Miami, Eric Spoelstra was rumored to get fired every fucking day. And it wasn't because he was incompetent.
That just happened. It just happens. It just happens when you're around someone that dominant. It just happens. You know, it don't matter who the fuck you are.
Well, it didn't happen with Michael Jordan.
Coaching LeBron, it's gonna happen.
Is it?
It didn't happen with Michael Jordan because the media is not the same way how it is today, and things aren't as blown up as it was today. Next.
No. MJ allowed, while still being a dominating personality, allowed Phil Jackson to be a great coach. Everywhere LeBron has gone, the Lee GM fucking meme. I hate when people say LE and then fill it in with some bullshit. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's cringe. It's cringe.
It's very cringe. But nonetheless, that stupid ass term exists for a reason. And it's because LeBron James controls so much of his career and everything that goes around him, and sometimes to a fault. I know what you're going to say. Why? You're going to say
because of what happened in the first year.
I know. I know.
Years. Yeah, there's no going back, so you can't blame him on what happened. He was raised the way he. Okay, you know why? So that's all I gotta say. So that shouldn't be wrong.
I understand why he is that way, but if you're gonna say he never had a great coach, that's just ignorant because he did. He just never allowed him to be as good as he was. He didn't have
a GOAT coach. That's what we're talking, GOATness.
That's fair.
GOAT coach.
But a lot of people act like LeBron James just had garbage coaching his entire career.
No, we talking about GOAT coaching, the ones that Kobe had, the ones that LeBron had. You know, LeBron. You know, MJ. So my dyslexia kicked in. Relax.
Okay, I mean that's fair, but I think that LeBron, and many times in his career, has controlled what happens to him, what happens around him, to a fault. Like, the best example of that I can think of is 2014, right after being traded to the Cavs, he forces the Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota for Kevin Love trade to happen. Now, we can speak with all the hindsight in the world that Andrew Wiggins is some booty cheeks now, but that trade was so avoidable. And you could have very easily just waited one season, one off season, had all of the money in the world to either sign Kevin Love or LaMarcus Aldridge, who I think is a better player.
Why waste 1 year?
Because you end up having a better team with a better chance to win more titles in the future.
I'd rather
than throwing it all at the wind.
It's the NBA. It's things happen. Things happen. It's the NBA. You
it's
can't
all.
I
understand. This is all a prediction, but I think they could have won 2 titles, or probably just 2, if they had done that instead of 1.
Oh no, that's just a prediction. It's hypothetical, but I mean, that's a hypothetical. But
my point is that LeBron forces things to happen around him, and sometimes that hurts him. So, because everything is about LeBron when you're on LeBron's team. And I think that's why, and I'll say this, I don't think it's entirely his fault.
I mean,
a lot of it is the media. But, like, the reason that Kyrie left is, like, if you're a teammate of LeBron James, you're nothing more than a teammate of LeBron James. Until you leave him... you already know what's
happening, though, when you sign up for it.
Kyrie Irving didn't really sign up for it, though. That's why he asked for a trade.
If he didn't want LeBron, to be honest, he would have requested a trade or something like that. That dude's coming on, I want to get on somewhere. He would have requested a trade, but that would look so stupid and idiotic for him right there at that moment in time. He didn't, because he knows that whatever raw comes with LeBron, also potential championships come with that too. So it's like, okay, the positive outweighs the cons.
That's fair enough. All I'm saying is that there is a thing that comes with LeBron that can be a negative sometimes, and I don't think
that's what happens with every superstar, though.
I don't think that comes with Michael Jordan. I don't think it does.
I do think the thing that I said about
everyone. I do think the thing that I said about it, you just being MJ's teammate, is accurate.
Yeah,
that's accurate to him as well. That's accurate to him as well.
He's an asshole. This man fucking beat the shit out of Steve Curry. He's an asshole. But it happens like with everybody. It happened with Kawhi this last year on the Raptors. It happened with KD. It happened with everybody.
Not really. Kyle Lowry isn't just known as Kawhi Leonard's teammate. He's not a
superstar. No. Okay, no. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about Kawhi, during this whole entire thing, I think obviously LeBron is LeBron. He's mentioned as a go and stuff like that. And Kawhi's not looked at as in the same eye, right?
As LeBron?
Like, on that level. Like, all-time level.
I think he's getting there.
All-time level? Like, GOAT to GOAT status? Like,
no. I mean, like he's in a top 20. Like, he's getting to the point where he can be there.
But I'm talking like top... Yeah, I'm like, yes, he has a little way to go. But anyway, that's besides the point. I think, like, they bring not the same level. Obviously, LeBron is LeBron. He brings some stuff. But I think your argument right there about that, like him, like, kind of, that, what he brings along, kind of rubbing teammates off the wrong way, it shouldn't, like, knock him down at all in this debate.
All right. I mean, I guess. So if we're gonna talk about some other weaknesses,
all right. Can I talk about MJ's help?
Sure.
I'm gonna do it anyways. All right. So it's debatable. MJ probably had the best super team ever, arguably. You know, it's top 2 up there.
What?
Arguably top 2. It's up there. All right.
No team Jordan played on was a super team. Not a single one of them.
Not a single one. Okay. Let me explain. Okay, Ron Harper, before he joined the Bulls, he averaged 20 points. Kukoc, he was a previous Sixth Man of the Year.
Are you about to say Ron Harper?
He averaged 20 points per game before joining the Bulls. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and he averaged like 10 with the Bulls.
That's the MJ effect. Okay, things happened, whatever. But Ron Harper was giving people buckets back in the day. But all of a sudden, when he joins the Bulls, he slides into that whatever role on option he had.
You know why? You know why he stopped averaging 20?
Why?
Because he tore his ACL with the Clippers.
Still a 20-point per game
scorer.
And
when he signed, and then he tore his ACL, and then he signed with the Bulls in '94 when MJ wasn't playing and averaged 7. So that's not really the greatest argument.
Listen, you're disrupting me right now, all right? Let me go through my fucking flow, all right? You're fucking me up. Fuck, I look bad.
Okay.
Anyways, like I was saying, Pimpin was 3rd in MVP voting when he left, when MJ left that year. I think it was, I forgot what year. But yeah, there's a point right there. And also, Fuck, my notes are kind of everywhere, dude. Oh, shit, yeah, my notes are everywhere.
I got you flustered with that Ron Harper point.
I mean, that's not...
He came in and averaged 7 because he tore his ACL, and that was before MJ was on the Bulls again.
I mean, yeah, that's like... yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of got me flustered.
And he was playing 20 minutes a game.
Okay, but that's... Okay, nice, cool. But anyways, that doesn't take away from my point, kind of. He still averaged 20 a few years ago, so he wasn't a complete scrub. He was... a nice vet to have on your team.
He was completely different from what he was on
different.
The Clippers. On the Bulls, he was pretty much just a defensive specialist.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. All right, so next, you want to attack one of my points, or should I attack one of your points?
Well, you can go down the roster for what you think is a super team. There's more than Ron Harper. I mean, yeah, Scotty was a MVP candidate in '94. I think he was a superstar, but not like... I don't know. I don't think he was like a crazy good superstar.
He was a superstar.
Like typically like top 5 player. Like I think Scottie Pippen is like what Paul George was this year in '94, where his stats and his impact were better than they normally are, and it was kind of like an inflation to how good he really is.
I don't know. I mean, if that was the case, then his team would have way less success without MJ on it, and they wouldn't have reached the Eastern Conference Finals, I think.
I think so. I think they lost to the
they almost
Knicks in the Conference Final.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it might have been the second round. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they lost to the Knicks though. But if Scottie Pippen is always such a weird player to me. I change my mind on him all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that dude was a superstar, and sometimes I'm like, he really wasn't shit. If we're talking about what is most important, which is the playoffs and the finals, if you go back and look at the NBA Finals, Scottie Pippen is consistently not as good as he is during the regular season. Like, I'm going to look up the finals and go back and look at his averages
right now
every year. Yeah. So, 1998 finals, Scottie averages 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And then for the regular season that year, he had averaged 19, 5, and 6. So that's not too far off. He did shoot 41%, though. That's not pretty. 98. He shot 45% that year. Yeah, that's not the greatest in the world.
Okay.
97 finals, Scottie Pippen averages 28 and 3. That's low assists for him. Because usually, the one thing about Scottie Pippen that's incredibly underrated is his passing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, that was pretty much his regular season stats, except he only averaged 3 assists and not 6. And again, he shot worse from the field.
All right. Do you want to talk
Scottie
about
Pippen and No, this is the big one. This is the big one that I remember. Scottie Pippen and in 1996, the crazy 96 Bulls in the finals versus the Supersonics averages 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 34% from the field. And during the regular season that year, he had averaged 19, 6, and 6, while shooting 46% from the field. And then I remember specifically as well as in the earlier finals, like 91, Scottie was averaging... that one's 91, he did well. Mm-hmm. Let's see, Scottie Pippen in 92. Okay, I might have fucked this shit in my head. Okay, never mind. He did well in the early finals. Shit. All right.
So let's take a look at some of the finals that MJ won. So the year 91, he won his first title, right? So, yeah. Magic, how old was he? Don't worry about it. Old as shit. That's all you need to know.
Magic was in his prime. Magic 91? Johnson was in his prime. Yes.
How old was he?
This was like right before he got AIDS. He was 31. He was fine. He averaged 19 and 12. 19, 7, and 12.
He wasn't at his peak, though.
I mean, he kind of was. It's not really his best season, but it was pretty much a
31 is old as shit.
It was pretty... No, it's not. It was pretty... He was an all-star that year. It was a pretty typical Magic Johnson season.
I'd consider that an old Magic, considering like how fast players declined back then. 31's pretty old to me back then. That's old. So the Lakers, he played the Lakers in '91 and beat them. Okay, they had an old Magic, no Kareem, a second year Vlade Divac, who was one of the best scorers for the Lakers, and they also played an injured Brian Scott. '92, he played who? Clyde Drexler and no one else. A bunch of nobodies. 93.
I got an interesting thing for you here. Guess who was second in MVP voting in 1991?
Who?
Magic Johnson.
91?
Yeah.
Weak ass stats. God damn. That's the competition. That's what competition was looking like. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's how weak this shit was.
He had his typical season that Magic had usually had, where he averaged 19 to 20 points and he was bringing in 12 assists. He won he won MVPs with similar stats to that in the past.
Super weak. Anyways.
We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that weak competition.
No. Okay. Anyways, 93. Who did he play in 93?
93, I'm pretty sure, was the Phoenix Suns.
You are correct. And in the year 93, the Suns, they were pretty good, I believe. And throughout
Charles
that
Barkley
finals...
won MVP.
Say again?
Charles Barkley won MVP.
Exactly. You're right. And throughout that series, do you know who was guarding MJ for most of the time?
Was it Dan Marley?
No. Nope.
Ainge?
Nah, it was six. This dude is one of the least memorable dudes ever. This dude he was 6'1". His name was Kevon Johnson, guarding MJ back in '93. Kevon Johnson.
Are you sure he was the primary defender? Because that doesn't make sense.
He was, because that Dan dude, he wasn't quick enough to guard him. He was a primary defender on. You can stat check or whatever, not stat check, but you can go back, watch film if you want. Okay,
check. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I mean, that's probably why he fucking ate in that series and averaged 41 on 51% shooting. But that doesn't mean that invalidates him. He could have had a good defender and averaged 35 and still won the damn series.
No, I know. I'm saying he ate like that for a reason. That's not like, a knock against him. But I'm just saying he had a 6'1" dude going up against him. Like, what do you expect? That's impressive, but like. It's impressive, but like it's not meant to be. Like,
I mean, to me, I'm gonna say if you average 41 in the finals, you averaged 41 in the finals. I don't care if fucking SpongeBob was guarding you.
Yeah, it's impressive, but I'm just saying, like, don't like blow it way too out of proportion.
And let me look at the '93 Suns defensive rating, because it comes down to more than just the one-on-one matchup. Mm-hmm. And MJ dealt with rebounds, or not rebounds. He dealt with Jesus Christ, what am I trying to think of? Double teams all the time. So that year, the Suns were 9th in defensive rating. So not the greatest, but also not the worst. In terms of rim protection, they probably were not the best in the world.
Okay.
So yeah, Charles Barkley, not a great shot blocker, and this fucking Oliver Miller dude is the only one who averages nearly 2 blocks. So yeah, I mean, the Phoenix Suns, their defense was their undoing, but they were number 1 in offense, and the Bulls definitely held their own in that department. Let me see. I don't want to do all this math right now on a podcast, but
okay. So let me go on. So, and then after that, it took a little break or whatever, and then he jumped right in. '96, he played the Sonics. Yeah, he played the Sonics, and the Sonics, if you really analyze that team,
I struggled with that team because of the defense.
Yeah, exactly. So the main guy on that team had a 44% field goal percentage, and he had absolutely no three ball. That was their best offensive player. And to think that a team like that will match up with the Bulls at that time, who were running through a competition, you're insane. And then obviously they went through. They played the Utah Jazz 97 and 98, and the Utah Jazz were kind of this, they were a little bit overrated.
Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about in 96? Who did you say was the?
My bad, not 96. 97, 98. 96 was Sonics.
Yeah, but you said something about the Sonics' best player averaging 17.
Oh. No, I said their best, not their best player, but their main guy. Yeah, their best player, whatever. Their main guy is a 44% field goal percentage type dude, and he had absolutely no three ball.
Who are you talking about?
Sean Kemp.
I mean, his career field goal percentage is 49%, which is okay for a big man. And in the series, he shot 55%. Unless you might be looking at Gary. No, you couldn't be looking at Gary Payton, right?
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, he shot 44%, but he averaged 18 and 7, and he's an elite defender. I don't know. I think it's debatable between who was better between Sean Kemp and Gary Payton.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a whole other debate that no one wants to listen to.
But Gary Payton was a damn good defender, and he was 6'4", so that's why MJ shot so poorly from the field in that series. And there's a pretty good video that I watched.
What was his field goal percentage?
41.5%. Which is not good. Okay. But if we want to talk about final stats, how about we move on to 2011?
There's no, I mean, okay, we can move on to 2011.
Well, you can do your breakdown on the Jazz now.
There's no really. Oh well, no. I was saying the Jazz are low key overrated because John Stockton and Rapist Malone.
Yes.
I don't think I have to get dived. They scored 60 points in a finals game before.
I think John Stockton is overrated. Ridiculous. I think Karl Malone, even though he is a fucking pedophile rapist, was a damn good basketball player, and I think even though he had some choky moments, he was I honestly think he's almost underrated because he was one of the best power forwards ever and one of the best scoring power forwards ever. So I think he was definitely. He won. It was either 98 or 97. He won the MVP. It's not like we're talking about scrubs here. John Stockton, I think, is overrated.
Yeah, he's not a scrub, but
no one else.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was mainly, getting on his case just a little bit. But anyways, that's beside the point. You want to talk about 2011?
Oh yeah. I will say this: 2016 is the greatest final series ever, and I would say LeBron's performance and averages in that series were some of the best ever. Probably in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, enough sugarcoating. Get straight to it.
Michael Jordan does not have anything close to as big of a stain on his legacy. Not in the stratosphere of 2011.
In the finals, no. But before the finals, yes. In the finals, no.
Not
but
really.
Before the finals, yes.
He lost.
Yes, really in the finals. Not in the finals, but yes, really, you're right.
What series did he have where he got outscored and outplayed by a guy like Jason Terry, averaged 17 points per game? He averaged less points than Chris Bosh, who people always shit on during that time. What series before that did MJ have that bad of numbers? There was none. MJ had great numbers in series that he would lose because he had no help. Same thing that happened with LeBron James in early years of his career.
Sigh.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, there's I can't. It's literally impossible to defend LeBron's 2011 job. It happened. Like every single player, it don't matter who you are, every single player is gonna have a real struggle moment, and it just so happened to be LeBron's struggle moment was in the biggest stage of the NBA, the NBA Finals.
And I think if we're talking about
has had plenty.
If we're talking about the GOAT, the biggest stage is what matters.
Let's not talk about the competition though. Okay, yeah, you're right. It is what matters, but the competition. Look, we haven't even. LeBron had the competition also matters to who he was playing against. But anyways,
I will agree. I will agree that LeBron has faced some tougher competition in the finals. I'll agree with that. I do not count 2007, 2018, or 2000.
You don't count 2007?
I don't count it against him. Like having lost. If anything, I give him credit for getting them there. And I don't count 2018 or 2017 against him. He was in an impossible situation there. There was no beating those teams with what he had. Dumbass J.R. Smith. But other than that, I think 2014 is semi-excusable, but it was still winnable. Mm-hmm. It is still possible to win in that series.
I don't know. With no right-hand man to go up with, no, it's not.
I don't think the Spurs were a good enough team to where it was impossible for LeBron to beat them single-handedly. I still count it against him. I don't count it against him as much as any of the other series that I didn't discount. But I do count it against him a little bit. There's a little bit.
I don't know. If you look at the Spurs had so many bodies to throw at you. And LeBron, he had fucking weak-ass Dwayne Wade at the time who was fucking hobbling on one leg.
15 points and Chris Paul. I understand that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, against the Spurs, like, if Dwayne Wade was if D-Wade was healthy, then okay, yeah, but he wasn't healthy. So you can't, I don't think that should even be brought up, because it was like,
regardless
you're getting jumped.
How deep a team is, regardless of how talented, or regardless of how good their team chemistry is, which is the Spurs had all-time great, if not the greatest team chemistry ever, and greatest system, and greatest coach. What matters most in the league is superstar talent. And there was not a superstar on that 2014 Spurs team. Tim Duncan was too far gone at that point. That was a team...
Can you read off the PPG for me real quick off of that team?
Off of the Spurs?
Yeah, that Spurs team.
I understand that they were a very good offensive team. But...
It's a team game. It don't matter. At the end of the day, the best team is going to win. It doesn't matter if you have the best player. The best player don't mean shit if the rest of the players are literally shit. It don't matter. It's a team game. I understand what you're saying.
It's a mix of both.
That don't matter to me, though.
But
I think it's more of a team than one man show. We've never really seen anyone do that before on a consistent basis.
I understand the point of view. All I'm saying is he doesn't get a total pass like he does 2007, 2018, and 2017. It's not the same. Like, he was in impossible circumstances in those three finals. But 2014, it was not impossible. It was possible.
Okay, that's respectable. I see what you're saying. You're not using that as a real, stab against him at all. You're using it as like a slight needle poking his hole. I see what you mean. You're not making that a big deal. Your main focus is on 2011, and like I said, ain't no real like I can't say shit for that. And if you're a LeBron fan who's trying to defend that, you can't. If you try to, I'm sorry, but you're what is he? What are those people called again? LeBron starts with an S, sexuals. You are a LeBron sexual if you try to defend that, because you can't. It just happens. LeBron just had to happen. LeBron just went through his little phase in the finals, and MJ went through his before the finals. He's had plenty of games, not plenty of games, but he's had. I could be real picky right now and name these dates and stuff like that, but I'm not. But he's had games where he's scored like threw up 14 shots and only made 4 of them on his Harden type stuff. Hit 10 free throws to get him to his point per game average. He's had plenty of games. He's had games like that. He hasn't had as many as LeBron.
A game here or there is not the same as an entire final series.
Yeah, his his choke jobs, MJ's choke jobs weren't in the finals. That's why it isn't as magnified. You know why they weren't in the finals? Because he couldn't get there because that man had no help. Just like LeBron in the finals. But so after, I'm not talking about 2011, but you get the point.
Okay, so I kind of went into some of the weaknesses that I saw with Michael or LeBron's game. Why don't you talk about some of the ones with MJ? Because with LeBron, his actual on the court product, I don't think there are too many weaknesses in his prime. In 2013, there was really no weakness in his game. He had everything. But in the last few years, he hasn't tried that much on defense. And in the earlier years of his career, his 3-point shot was non-existent. But what are what are some of the issues you had with MJ's game?
Okay.
And his personality as well, if you have those.
Okay, well, I could hop on his personality right now without looking at my notes. Look, if the media, if you place MJ in, the year 2019, and if all of the things that were going on in the locker room and stuff like that, and the incident that happened between him and rocking the shit out of Steve Kerr's face happened in 2019, people would fucking hate that man. That man, people would hate that man. And we all know his famous quote, "Fuck them kids."
Did he actually say that? I don't know what that's from.
That's a thing. That's for real a thing, dude. He would be looked at not as, great of a basketball player as he is today by a lot of soft people because of his actions that.
How I feel about that is, who you are as a person doesn't mean shit to me, as long as you succeed on the court. Now, I'll call you out for what you were off of the court, like I do with Karl Malone any chance I get.
Yeah.
The dude fucked a 13-year-old girl and then refused to pay child support despite being a millionaire. So fuck that guy. But earlier I praised him as a basketball player, and that's because I separate the two. But I do understand that people would definitely scrutinize Jordan more if he played in the modern NBA. I completely understand that. It's the social media age. The media in general is just bigger than it used to be around sports.
Yeah, people will be way more on they'll be way more on Jordan's head than LeBron's head if these two were playing in the game today.
Yeah, because everything that LeBron does now is under a microscope. This dude can't buy a drink at a bar in public without it being the biggest fucking headline in the news.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, for real. His kids are getting way more coverage than MJ's kids has ever gotten in their entire
garbage.
Yeah, but they played in college. I don't know if they played in AAU or whatever. If they were two players,
I remember
I'm sure
there was a high school game where both of Jordan's sons were playing against Eric Gordon. And Eric Gordon dropped 50 on their heads. And there's just some photo of MJ just angrily staring at Eric Gordon at a high school game.
Say, you swear to God, you gotta find me that.
I think it's Eric Gordon. It might be someone else. But he completely dropped off both of his sons. It's just so funny. But yeah, his kids were bums in comparison. I think Bronny James, even though that's a dumb name, I think... it sounds like a dinosaur species.
Ronnie.
But I think he's going to be a very good basketball player in comparison. But that's a completely different topic.
Yeah, okay. So, another thing that I wanted to mention, was MJ and his, give me the damn ball, let me shoot it habits, Did you know 1 year NBA, I said NBA, oh my God, MJ... He shot he threw up 28 shot attempts per game for a year.
I mean, he was a scorer. There are guys. 28. There are guys like that today. Well, I don't think there are a lot. I know James Harden did something like that this year. Actually, no. All he does is shoot free throws. Let's see how many he shot a game.
Yeah,
he shot 20. He shot 24 a game this year.
Yes. Exactly. 28 is damn near 30. That's ridiculous. LeBron never shot above 22. And that's due to, LeBron being, I'd rather make a play for my teammate and make the right play than, do it myself.
Well, here's the fundamental issue with comparing these players. It's because I do think they have different mindsets and different games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
LeBron has always had more of a distributor mindset, although I think people overstate that. I think people act like LeBron is like Steve Nash in terms of his decision to pass versus shoot. There's still many times in the game where LeBron is like, get out of my way. He specifically did that a lot, and I understand why he did it in the 2015 finals, because his help was not great. Where he was just like, get the fuck out of my way, I'm shooting the ball. And I don't know, people act like LeBron is always pass first. His first instinct is always to pass. And that's not necessarily true.
I think it's more 40-60.
Yeah, I think he's just more willing pass than MJ and Kobe and other players who get compared to him are.
Fuck!
What the hell was that?
I just spilled my water. Fuck! I'm gonna cry. Okay. Hopefully this didn't. Okay, if I spill it on the floor, I'm not sure. But anyways, what I wanted to also mention, or whatever, was that MJ's. What do you know? What MJ's point per game averages for his career?
30.1.
30.1. That is insane. That is crazy. And I know LeBron's is 27.1. Probably. Yeah, it is. Right now as we speak. And I just want to say that if LeBron was to stay 3 years in college and play under Coach Dean Smith, then I feel like he could right out of the gate, he could come out of college and enter the NBA year one and start giving people damn near 30 a game.
Okay.
So that's another advantage MJ has there.
Well, let's look it up. That's not true. It's pretty easy to figure that out.
What's not true?
If you just get rid of his first 2 seasons, in his third season he averages 31, and then his career point average only goes up by 0.4.
I'm saying though, I'm not saying it would be higher than MJ because obviously they're different players, but it wouldn't be as much of a difference as it is right now. It'd be more like 29.
Here's my viewpoint on it. MJ is a better scorer than LeBron. I don't think you can really debate that all that much.
He's a better scorer, but he's not the more efficient one. But even if
we really gonna play
errors,
that game?
Because I can
spacing.
No. I don't listen, I don't care. Even if the spacing was how it was today, with Michael Jordan, if he was placing the game with 4 different shooters on the court with him, I still think LeBron would be the more efficient player.
But LeBron's already not that much more efficient.
He is. What are the 2 field goal percentages?
LeBron James' career field goal percentage is 50.4. Michael Jordan's is 49.7. It is a 0.7 difference.
Even with that 0.7 difference, I feel like
all right.
he'd be more trigger happy in this situation too.
Career true shooting percentage.
MJ
is 57%. And then
okay, oh my God, true shooting. Wow,
LeBron's true shooting percentage is 58.6%. So there's a 1.6% difference. LeBron is more efficient, but it's by a slim margin. And if we're talking about shooting percentages, if we're going to get real specific, how about we look at the one that there actually is a big gap, and then we talk about free throw percentage.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because for his career, MJ's a better shooter. 83%, LeBron 73%. That's the real field goal percentage difference. And I will give LeBron this as well. He is I don't know about much, but he is a better 3-point shooter. And in his last few years, he has widened the gap significantly. But for many years, he was also equally as ass of a 3-point shooter that Jordan was. But what I will say,
it's close.
What I will say, LeBron has shot a good amount more attempts And I think that matters. And there were also like 2 or 3 years of MJ's career where the 3-point line was shortened by like a foot. And that was the year that the 1 year where he shot 40% from 3 was that year because it was shortened. But when it comes to scoring in general... Oh, actually, I was about to say this. I think MJ deserves a pass in terms of his 3-point shooting. And I see this argument all the time. Some dumbass people say that MJ is just a more athletic DeMar DeRozan because it's 2 dudes who attack the rim, have good handle but not like Allen Iverson shit, and then take a lot of mid-range shots. And like, if you look at it at the most basic level, offensively, sure, they're similar. But if MJ was born in 1999, or not 1999, like 1990, and he grew up around the same time that LeBron grew up, or whenever the fuck LeBron was born, I don't want to bother doing that math. If that situation had happened, he would have grown up to a league that cared more about spacing, specifically from guards, and he would have worked on his 3-point shot. If you read anything about LeBron, or if you read anything about Jordan, I've read 2 books I've read 2 books about him. I'm not sure. I read them so long ago, but one of them was Phil Jackson's book about him. But MJ is the most ridiculous fucking workaholic and competitor ever. Like, people think, because this dude was out gambling and shit at night, it meant that he was not working that hard. No, it's because MJ was a psychopath. Like, he would work for like 4 hours, and he would like get up at early in the day, do a bunch of work, go to a game, do some more work, and then after being up for like 17 hours, go to gamble. Like, the man got 3 hours of sleep. He's a psychopath. But if you understand Michael Jordan's mentality, if he needed a 3-point shot, he would have had one. That's just how he worked. If he needed to shoot the 3 ball, he would have shot more, or he would have worked on that aspect of his game. He I believe, what was it, 92 versus the Portland Trailblazers. I don't know if you know this story or not, but there was some fucking news article that really pissed off Michael Jordan, and it led to him decimating the Blazers with 6 3-pointers in the first half, which I think is no longer an NBA record, but it used to be. There was an article published trying to claim that Clyde the Glide Drexler was better than Michael Jordan because he could shoot the 3 ball. And MJ was asked about that statement by the media, and he said, Clyde Drexler is a better 3-point shooter than me because I choose not to shoot threes. That was what he said. It was something close to that, at least. He basically, literally, pretty much explicitly said that 3-point shooting just wasn't a big deal to me, so I didn't really work on it. I didn't think it was that important. And then he proved, like, I'm not going to take that game of him hitting 6 3-pointers like, he could always do that, because if he could have always done that, then he would have always done that. But the point is that he could have developed that shot if he needed it. He just didn't think he needed it.
Yeah, no one did back then, really. You're right about that. But okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing, I wanted to go back or whatever in time to when we were talking about. I don't know if it's a good idea to do this because you're in your zone right now, but I wanted to go back in time and talk about the times MJ choked horribly in the playoffs. He didn't do it in the finals, but he did his before the finals.
I will admit this: I'm not all too well versed in the earlier years of his career. Okay. Like, I'm more ignorant on that side of it.
This is not too early at all. Okay, Game 3, 1993. He was playing the New York Knicks, and was it the Knicks? Yeah, I think it was the Knicks. Okay, yeah, it was the Knicks. He played the Knicks. And he shot 3 for 18. And that's obviously 16%. And he shot 17 free throws. Games like that. He's had Harden-like games. Game 4 actually, 1997 versus the Miami Heat. He shot 9 for 35, 25% on his Westbrook tip. He was 0 for 8 from three-point range, and he hit 13 free throws. I can nitpick like this. He's had moments. It's just not magnified though. He's had moments, plenty of moments.
I'll take a moment over a series.
No. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. How many bad games did LeBron have in...
I'm not saying that MJ is flawless.
I'm saying how many bad games did LeBron have against the Mavericks? I'm not going to defend him. I'm just asking.
I'll have to go look up that series again. You had me go all the way to the 93 playoffs. It's
content for the people. While you're doing that, I'll just throw out the rest of my stats. Let me nitpick a little bit more, all right? 1993 Game 3 against the Orlando Magic. The man shot 5 for 14, 35%. And he shot 11 free throws that game, and he hit half of them. Well, a little less than half. A little more than half. 6 of them. 1995 Game 1 against the Orlando Magic. He shot 8 for 22, shot 36%, you know? He's had not so many games like that, but he's had games like that hasn't been blown out of proportion as LeBron has. It's not a big thing because obviously on the finals, and also people don't look back into things like this. It's not as memorable as LeBron's because, you know, recency bias. That's the thing.
Okay, so Game 1 in 2011, LeBron was fine. He had a cool, 25, 7, and 7 on good shooting splits. Game 2, 20 points, which is not enough if you're trying to be the GOAT.
How efficient was he?
One second, I'm looking at Game 3. I'll go back to it. Game 3, 17 points on 43% shooting. I think Game 2 he shot 50%.
Not in the 30s, so we straight.
20 points on 53%.
That's 20 points on 53%. How many assists he had? I'm sorry, man. I'm just got to get on your ass real quick, man. Because you said that's bad. 50%, that's not bad at all. That's not bad.
4
that's
assists,
not a bad game.
8 rebounds. But 20 points... I expect... It's not bad, but it's also not good. I expect more than 20 points per game, or 20 points on 50% shooting in a series where you're the greatest of all time.
What game was that again?
In a final series.
3, right? Game 3.
Yes. Game 4 was the massive stinker. That's where he put up 8 points on 3 for 11 shooting, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Next game, 17 points on 42%, and in Game 6...
Okay, but listen, the thing about Game 3 that you pointed out, he had 20 points. The Miami Heat ended up winning that game, and they only scored 88 points. So that's a lot considering how much points they scored as a team. Yeah,
what matters the most is that for the series, he averaged 17.
You're right, but okay. So what's the next? So how many games was that? 3, 4, 5 games. Yeah, 3 games.
Wait, sorry.
That's how many games was that he had below not LeBron games at all?
Well, I don't consider 20 on 50% shooting to be a LeBron game.
He won that game, and they scored 88 points. You can't use that as a thing.
If we're letting that one slide.
He shot 50%. He shot
LeBron's
30% or something
like
that.
LeBron's average stat line is 27, 7, and 7 on 50% shooting. He put up 7 less points than he normally does.
He won though.
Yeah, I know.
If he
that's
lost,
why I'm letting it slide.
He won though. And you can't even say you're in this as if
I don't think you're using a harsh enough criteria. We're talking about a guy that's supposed to be the greatest of all time.
You are, but the team scored
game
88
4,
points.
he
scored
put up
20
8
of
points.
them.
That's just unexcusable. That's the word. That's
okay. We're not talking. I was talking about game 3, but you're right. Game 4, I can't defend that. You're right. I'm not talking about that.
Miami would have gone up 3-1 in game 4 had he put up 12 points. Had he made 2 more shots, they would have won that game because they only lost by 3. That's a supreme choke job in the NBA Finals, which is what matters the most.
Okay, yeah, I can't say anything about that. He's had his blemishes in the finals. He wasn't blessed like MJ to, go through it before in the finals, previously in the finals.
I mean, I wouldn't consider that a blessing.
Because I mean, I would. To me, I would.
I understand LeBron's perspective and situation going into this final series, but that doesn't excuse it. I understand that it was his first real time on this stage, because even though he was in the finals in 2007, that wasn't real. That wasn't like he's expected to do anything.
Yeah, that man had Anderson Bear, not Anderson. Yeah, Anderson Bear. I forgot about that, man. What happened to him? I remember he was on the worst, but anyway, that has nothing to do with this.
But we're getting way too specific in stats and shit. Let's talk about defense. Yeah. Who do you think is the better defender between the two?
I mean,
really?
MJ. Like, I'm not saying he's the better.
I respect that.
Yeah, I think MJ is the better defender, but it's not like by a super landslide, though.
The main point that you will hear from most LeBron fans.
But wait, let me just throw this out there. I think it was the year 2013. He should have won
Defensive Player
when LeBron. Yeah, that was the year LeBron was supposed to won that, so he should have won. But
I'm not holding. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, MJ won Defensive Player of the Year, so that makes him better. Like, no, that's not really how that works. Defensive Player of the Year is one of those arbitrary awards that I think doesn't always go to the most deserving player. It really just seems like the NBA has like 3 to 5 defenders that we all recognize as some of the best in the league, and it's almost like they just like cut a chicken's head off in a circle with all the fucking names, and then whichever one the dead chicken lands on is
spot on.
The guy that wins the award.
Yeah, spot on. Spot on with that. I agree. But I would say MJ is the better defender, but it's not by like a landslide.
Most people on the LeBron side of that argument bring up versatility, because LeBron is a bigger dude that he can really guard 1 through 4. There are some people that say 1 through 5. That's just not accurate. You're not putting LeBron on prime Dwight Howard, but he definitely could guard 1 through 4. But versatility does not necessarily equal being better. Like, for example, Lonzo Ball, and this might piss off some people, but if you think about it, it makes sense. Lonzo Ball is a more versatile player than Kemba Walker. But Kemba Walker's a much better fucking player.
Yeah.
Like, if we categorized it into the basketball into the most simplest terms.
Damn, why you gotta use that?
If we categorized it in the most simplest terms of basketball, where it's just scoring the ball, passing the ball, rebounding the ball, and defending. If we broke it down into those 4 categories, Lonzo wins 3 out of 4 of those. But Kemba Walker is very clearly a much better player than Lonzo Ball. So versatility is not everything. Being more versatile does not necessarily equal being better. Like, if we could have like 5 different like classes of different subjects, and you get B's in everything, but I get like an A+ in 2 of them, and B's and a B in 1 of them, and like a C in the other 2. And I would have a better GPA, but you would seem more versatile because you had an average of like being equally good at everything. So,
but let me throw this out there.
That's basically my point.
Let me throw this out there.
Huh? Go ahead.
So, okay, as we all know, I don't think anybody could debate this. There's way more talent in the NBA nowadays. Way more offensive talent, at least both ways, honestly. But way more offensive talent. Fuck, stutter attack right there. Way more offensive talent nowadays in LeBron's era compared to Jordan's era. I don't think that's really up for debate. And also nowadays,
yes, but I don't think that invalidates what MJ does.
Nowadays, it doesn't. I'm just throwing this out there. Nowadays, it's hard. It's a lot harder to play defense on these guys as well because of the rules and also because they're so damn talented and they can do a lot. And I wanted to throw it out there as well, just randomly. I think it'd be nice for the people to hear is that in the NBA Finals. LeBron James played a total of, I think it's 37 Hall of Famers.
Is that taking future Hall of Famers into consideration?
Yeah, okay. He played Durant 3 times. He played Russ 1 time. Steph 4 times. Green 4 times.
Wait, is that counting them like
each time in the?
Is that like counting Kevin Durant? 3 times?
Yeah, each time in the playoffs. Yes.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about that? Okay, LeBron played him 37 times.
I guess.
Those elite Hall of Fame, GOAT-worthy type play. Not GOAT-worthy, but you know what I'm talking about. He played those type players 37 times. Compared to MJ, he played Magic once, Clyde once, Charles Barkley once, Peyton once, Stockton twice, Jerry Sloan, which is the head coach, twice. 10. It's so lopsided. Hella lopsided.
What about Karl Malone?
Oh yeah, Karl Malone. Oh, I didn't say Malone, but I said twice. He played him twice too.
And there were other guys on that 91 Lakers team that are also Hall of Famers. Like I'm pretty sure James Worthy was still on that team.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Double check that.
And I think what's his name?
You get the point, though. No matter what else you try to bring up, it's so lopsided.
It's not. I don't think it's as lopsided as you're trying to make it.
Kind of is, but I mean.
But here's my counterpoint to that. While yes, I think MJ has faced less fierce competition in the finals, and while there are better scorers in the NBA now than there used to be, and there's more talent than there used to be, that is, while a detractor for LeBron, it is also a benefit for him. Jordan has never played with a scorer on the caliber of prime Dwayne Wade, which granted LeBron only really had that for like a year and a half, but still, Jordan has never played with a scorer on the caliber of even injured Dwayne Wade or Kyrie Irving. Scottie Pippen was really good, but he wasn't like a crazy scorer.
I don't know about that injured.
He wasn't like a crazy scorer. Scottie was like a 19 point per game guy during the finals for the most part.
But what I can say about that is consistency always outweighs the inconsistencies that LeBron has always had. MJ has always had consistency. That's the thing. Consistency always wins compared to that like erratic help and no help thing that LeBron has throughout every single year in his career.
I mean, that's kind of, like I said earlier, that's kind of LeBron's fault.
Not really. Kyrie going out with his knee, not really. Dwayne Wade just going out with his knee, not really. Things like that. LeBron having no help once in a while, not really. I'm not blaming
those things. I'm just talking about how he's constantly going back and forth between teams.
That's not his fault, though, because like he got done dirty before. He don't want to go back. You have to understand why he is the way he is.
I can understand why he is, but that doesn't change the fact that it is because of him that those things happen.
Even if it didn't happen, like even if he wasn't like the way he is right now, I don't think he would have 3 championships.
I don't know. I mean, that's up for debate. I do think that leaving Cleveland made sense for him. I will give you that, but I don't know. That's playing too much of the what if game.
Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Yeah, I don't really like diving too deep into the statistical part of that debate because it really just comes down to longevity. Numbers-wise, these guys are pretty much comparable for their primes, and I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Also,
wait, before we go.
Okay. We do have to do the closing statement, so keep it quick.
Yeah, so I remember at the end of your Goatmentary thing, your Goatmentary series, you said some like a beautiful ass basketball line. You're like saying you're saying how you shouldn't tear another player down to make your player
don't disrespect one legend to bring another one up.
Exactly. Don't do that. They're both GOATs. Like without MJ, there would be no LeBron.
I respect the shit out of LeBron James. I just think Michael Jordan is a better basketball player.
Exactly. And all this is just hypotheticals. You can't really compare the two at all because they played in different eras. A lot
different
of things
eras,
are
different play styles, different situations.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I did have one more thing to say about MJ. One of the things that we didn't really touch on that gets brought up when talking about them, specifically their offense, is that LeBron is a much better passer. I made a whole video kind of tackling this. He really wasn't that much better.
He is. He has. Okay. Oh my god.
I think
we're doing this now.
I think he's better, but not much better. MJ was averaging 6 to 7 to even 8 assists per game in the system that the Bulls had, where he was the lead ball handler 24/7 until Phil Jackson came in and made MJ more of an off-ball player.
Inflated stats. He wasn't going to win like that. He can't win like that. LeBron can because he's that dude.
Are you sure, though?
I'm sure.
If LeBron was put in a system where he was more off-ball? You never know. You never know.
You're not listening. What I'm saying is, those are slightly inflated stats. You and I know this. Devin Booker was placed as a point guard, and he averaged 7 assists. Who cares?
Here's the thing.
Next.
LeBron is a more skilled passer.
Exactly.
But
there it is. That's all I need to hear.
It's not a massive difference like people act like it is.
You can't look at numbers and act like it's not a massive difference.
I'm not just looking at numbers.
I
can look at their assist. I can look at how they play. MJ is a good passer. If you look at his passing highlights, you watch.
He's not on the
games.
same level as LeBron, though. He's not on that same level.
People act like
it's not close.
Here's the thing. It's not close, but it's also not as far as people make it out to be.
When in your life have you ever seen an MJ passing highlight reel? I've never seen that in my life.
Then look it up.
No, I'm not even gonna look it up because that probably looks disgusting, and I don't want to see that grainy, nasty ass footage. Fuck then that.
Clearly,
I've never seen that. He's known. That's not. He's not known for his passing thing. That's not his thing.
He's not known for it, but he was damn good at it.
I know he's good.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. Okay.
Let me make my point.
That's all I gotta say.
People act like the passing difference between MJ and LeBron is Steve Nash versus like Kendrick Perkins, where really it's the difference.
That's crazy.
It's like the difference between Steve Nash and like I'm trying to think.
I got you with that one though. With that Denver Booker thing, you think
it's like the difference between Steve Nash and Elfrid Payton or Lonzo Ball. Elfrid Payton's a really good passer. Don't disrespect.
Okay.
But anyways,
but we all okay.
It's time to do closing statements. So I guess I'll do mine and then you can do yours.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, like I said in my opening statement, to me, the GOAT is the guy who has both individual and team accomplishments. Jordan has 6 championships, never lost in the finals, has 5 MVPs, multiple All-NBA teams, multiple All-NBA defensive first teams, a defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, probably some other fucking awards that we don't even know what they are. And he accomplished all of that within a 15-year career, and really a 13-year career, because ain't nobody trying to talk about those fucking Washington days. So, my point is, there is no one who has accomplished the versatile list of things that MJ accomplished in the time that he accomplished them. Just imagine what he could have done if he had played 20 years like he should have. So I didn't actually write down a closing statement because I didn't have time. That's just off the dome.
Okay, that was beautiful off the dome, dude. So I'm gonna kind of Anyways, cut this out. Here's my closing statement. Let me fuck my camera. Okay, so here's my closing statement. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time to me because of what he was able to do with his situation and how he's made the most out of everything that he's received by the basketball gods. Yes, he wasn't blessed. He wasn't, blessed as MJ, placed in a good situation, but he took what he got and he learned from the mistakes that he possibly have made, that he's made in his past, and he's become his own dude, and he's put himself in the right situation to do things. Now, if he was like him now, and also I want to praise him for his longevity and stuff like that, being able to be this damn good.
Yeah, he deserves credit for
this
that.
damn good at this age. And from the 2003 draft class, it's only him and Kyle Korver left, which is fucking insane. And Kyle Korver low-key has one leg out the door. And I also want to praise.
I mean, this was the first. This was the first year in his career that he ever had like a real injury.
Yeah, exactly. That too. So I want to praise him for that, and I also want to praise him for just staying 10 toes and persevering throughout all the things and putting himself in the right situation. He has the accolades. He never lost in the first round. Never lost in the second round. Wait, did he? I don't know. No, he didn't. And he's only had most of his losses.
I think he's lost in the second round. I'm pretty sure he has.
Okay, but not as much as MJ though. He's had all his flaws. He's had all his flaws in the finals in the biggest moments, and that was only because of due to unfortunate circumstances. Circumstances is what's been kind of holding him back throughout his career. Now, if he was placed in a different situation and injuries didn't happen, and the talent level between his team wasn't so inconsistent, then we'd look at his career in a much different light than we do right now. He's even with all these losses, this man lost in the finals 6 times, and he's still, it's crazy to say, but he's still looked at as a top 2 player in the NBA today ever. And I give the man props, yeah. and people like me just sit here nowadays like, damn, what if this man was given a chance to be great from the jump like MJ? This man didn't lose in the first round like MJ at all. So imagine what
LeBron or Jordan really wasn't given that great of an opportunity to start like you're making it seem. Go for it.
Well, we discussed this earlier, but okay, whatever you say. It's
not like he was drafted to a championship contender.
I know.
What
I'm saying though, he didn't waste the first 7 years of his career just like LeBron though. He didn't have to go through that struggle. LeBron did, and just imagine the great things that LeBron would have been able to accomplish if he didn't have a bunch of nincompoops running his organization. That's all I gotta say. That's my goal right there.
All right. Well, that was the HoopsCast. Make sure to answer both of the polls that will be in the cards above. I just pointed at it like I'm recording a video right now, but there's
dingus.
Nothing recording me right
now. I
now.
call you dingus.
But yeah, thanks, Mojo. So that was the HoopsCast. Answer the polls. Tell us what you thought of the debate below. Go ahead.
Leave a like.
Oh, leave a like, he said. Okay, yeah. Leave a like. And, thanks for watching.